Prime Minister Yueqi's daughter Yu Qingru was married to King Yunqin Zhongying. Prime Minister Yuqi asked his daughter to go to Prince Yun's mansion to search for the roster. This is a task arranged by the emperor. Only when they get the roster can their family be safe. But Yu Qingru didn't want to do this. She really liked Qin Zhongying and wanted to live a stable life with him. Yuqi scolded her daughter angrily, saying that she was ugly. If the emperor had not arranged a task to marry her to Qin Zhongying would not have married her at all. It turns out that Yu Qingru is a well-known ugly girl. She has many red rashes on her face that don't go away all year round. But Yu Qingru would rather die than betray Qin Zhongying. The former prince, Qi Zhongying, held a heavy army and returned triumphantly after defeating the enemy. Unexpectedly, he encountered an assassin on the way and Qi Zhongying broke out of the siege. The great Qin emperor was afraid of Qi Zhongying, so he named him King Yun and asked him to surrender his military power. The emperor also gave him 2 concubines in marriage, Yu Qingru in the main room, and Shangguanling in the side room. Qi Zhongying obeyed on the surface, but in fact he knew that the emperor was afraid of him, and his parents died for no reason, so he always remembered in his heart that he wanted to avenge his parents. Soon to be the big wedding day. Yu Qingru didn't want to betray Qi Zhongying, but also suffered from her father's entrustment, and finally decided to commit suicide by taking poison. Dr. Yu opened her eyes and found that she was sitting in the sedan chair, wearing ancient clothes, and the people around her were also wearing ancient clothes. She was surprised, and she opened the sedan chair curtain and asked where this is. A maid outside told her that this is of course the capital of Daqin, and she is Yu Qingru, the daughter of the Yu family. And she is the maid Lilac. Ding Xiang asked her to put down the curtain quickly, otherwise she would get more rashes due to the wind, and she would become even uglier. Yu Qingru was shocked that she was about to get married just after crossing, so she hurriedly asked who the groom was. Ding Xiang said that the groom was Qi Zhongying, who grew up with her, and Shangguanling. And Shangguanling has always targeted Yu Qingru. Today, Yu Qingru's rash is already serious, and it may become more serious in the future. Shangguanling would definitely laugh at Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru removed her mask suspiciously, and found that although she looked exactly like her previous self, her face was covered with red rashes. The auspicious time is approaching, and the wedding car convoy was blocked by Shangguanling's tricks. Yu Qingru will soon miss the wedding. Yu Qingru wanted to take the opportunity to escape, but was stopped by the maid, who said that she wanted to kill the 9 clans against the decree. She changed her mind and thought that it would be fine to run away after she got married. So she found a horse and rushed off to get married. When they arrived at the scene, Yu Qingru was stopped by the maid in the mansion. She almost fell off the horse, and was hugged by Qi Zhongying to escape. Her veil slipped in the process. The exposed face actually has good skin. Everyone was dumbfounded, and they all said that the ugly girl of the Yu family in the legend was not ugly, on the contrary, she was much more beautiful than Shangguanling. Shangguanling was shocked to find that Yu Qingru had become more beautiful. Yu Qingru, Shangguanling and Qi Zhongying paid homage together. Yu Qingru ran so fast that she even lost her hijab. Yu Qingru felt like she was filming a movie. She had a smile on her face. As a result, Qin Zhongying always knew that the emperor had no good intentions in bestowing the marriage, and thought that Yu Qingru was acting on the spot. Wonder why she is so happy. Yu Qingru was very happy all the time, thought it was lively and fun, and even took the lead in applauding to stir up the atmosphere. Qin Zhongying was very speechless, and felt that Yu Qingru was more like a groom. The maid Ding Xiang felt relieved and drank a glass of Yu Qingru's wedding wine. Who knew, a memory of a man suddenly appeared in her mind. She was dizzy for a while, and shouted, "Where's my beard?" It turned out that Yu Qingru was originally in modern times, and was rescuing patients in an ambulance. The driver, Master Zhao, was standing behind him. Driver Zhao seemed to have also time-traveled to the maid Ding Xiang. Driver Zhao met Yu Qingru and cried loudly to her that he had transmigrated into a woman, and it was too bullying for a big man to have to wear a skirt. Yu Qingru and Master Zhao began to reminisce about the time travel. Yu Qingru met someone who had an accident on the mountain, so she helped with first aid measures. The mineral water bottle on the ambulance was not tightened tightly, and some water leaked onto the electric shock device. Yu Qingru used an electric shock device to rescue the patient, but was shocked and caused time travel. Yu Qingru diagnosed herself as a severe foreign body allergy when she looked in the mirror in the sedan chair. Suffering from lack of medicine, a system appeared in front of her at this time, showing that the diagnosis was correct plus 10 points. The system told Yu Qingru that if she wants to go back to modern times, there are conditions. The condition is to save the people from life and death, and she is also provided with an item column, from which she can directly choose medicines. So she chose medicine to heal her face. Driver Zhao said that he always read this kind of book when he was on the night shift, time travel, the system, Goldfinger, and Yu Qingru must have no problem saving Wan Min. Yu Qingru asked what to do now. Driver Zhao asked her to go through the process, bridal chamber, fight for favor, kill the villain, and reach the top. Yu Qingru disagrees, she just wants to have a bridal chamber with the person she likes. After the two were called, the maid Ding Xiang suddenly asked herself why she was here. It was only then that Yu Qingru realized that Driver Zhao's crossing was intermittent. Driver Zhao will only show up when the maid Clove drinks. The maid found that there was no rash on Yu Qingru's face, and asked Yu Qingru what happened. Yu Qingru said it was a secret medicine given by her family, and she would be fine after taking it. While reading the book, Qin Zhongying wondered why Yu Qingru's face was healed and became more beautiful. At this time Yu Qingru came to his room and asked to have a chat with him. Qin Zhongying let Yu Qingru go out. Yu Qingru said that she knew that Qin Zhongying didn't want to marry her, and it happened that she didn't want to marry Qin Zhongying either. Qin Zhongying said that Yu Qingru should go out. Yu Qingru said that there are eyes and ears outside the door. If two people sleep in separate rooms, everyone will know. So no matter whether Qin Zhongying wants to be with her at night or not, both have to stay in the same room. Yu Qingru also reassured Qin Zhongying that the two of them will only stay together for one night in this life, just for outsiders to see. Sit on the ground after speaking. Qin Zhongying agreed to share a room with the two of them for this night. Yu Qingru thought to herself, Qin Zhongying is obviously handsome, and he is still a rich second generation, so it's a pity that he was so unhappy on the wedding night. Outside the door, Shang Wanling was waiting at the door. Maid Mieden advised her not to wait outside the door. She said that as a concubine, she had to abide by the etiquette. Waiting outside the door to serve is the duty. Inside the room, Yu Qingru was lying on the table, drowsy. Qin Zhongying used peanuts as hidden weapons to wake her up. Yu Qingru is very angry. But Qin Zhongying said that if she is not afraid of catching a cold, she will continue to sleep like this. Yu Qingru wants to smash Qin Zhongying with peanuts. Qin Zhongying suddenly pushed her on the bed, and the two got very close. It seemed like they were kissing each other. At this time, Shang Wanling saw it outside the door and was heartbroken. Yu Qingru was about to struggle, but Qin Zhongying told her not to move. It turned out that Qin Zhongying found the assassins, and they stayed still for a while, ready to strike the enemy with one blow. The assassin attacked, Qin Zhongying fought with the assassin. Shang Wanling shouted outside the door, and the guards rushed to fight the assassin. Shang Wanling was very frightened, ran out and fell on the bodyguard Mo Zhu, who was fighting alone with the assassin. Mo Zhu was hit by Shang Wanling and stabbed by an assassin. The assassin saw that the assassination tonight would not be successful, so he fled. Yu Qingru inspected Mo Zhu's wound. At this moment, the people from Dali Temple arrived suddenly and wanted to take away the injured Mo Zhu. Yu Qingru was very puzzled, thinking they were crazy for not catching the assassin and the injured Mo Zhu. Unexpectedly, the officials of Dali Temple plausibly said that the palace is heavily guarded, and there must be an internal response if there are assassins. Qin Zhongying refused to let Dali Temple take away Mo Zhu. But Mo Zhu voluntarily cooperated for the sake of the overall situation. Yu Qingru said that she saw the assassin, so she wanted to go with her. After they left, Qin Zhongying discovered that the sword used by the assassin was not something that ordinary people could get, and that there was poison on the sword. He quickly found a doctor and went to Dali Temple to save people. Wang Lei, minister of Dali Temple, is the emperor's man. Hearing that Qin Zhongying was assassinated, he hurried to go. When Qin Zhongying arrived in prison, he found that the poison in Mo Zhu had been detoxified by Yu Qingru. It turned out that Yu Qingru had discovered that Mo Zhu's wound had been poisoned a long time ago, so she deliberately followed him into the prison. Mo Zhu was saved with the detoxification pill given by the system. The accompanying doctor checked and found that the detoxification was very thorough, and praised Yu Qingru for his excellent medical skills. Yu Qingru hurriedly said that this was her family's ancestral detoxification technique. She just tries. Everyone was about to leave Dali Temple when Dali Temple minister Wang Lei arrived and refused to let them leave. Also brought the captured assassin. The assassin identified Mo Zhu as the one who instructed him to assassinate, and Mo Zhu gave him the poison. Wang Lei hurriedly asked the officers and soldiers to search the Yunwang mansion. The officers and soldiers found Lily of the Valley in the Ma Zhu house, which is indeed poisonous after refining. Wang Lei said that there are all the witnesses and material evidence, and he wants to put Mo Zhu into death row. After stopping Yu Qingru, she said, Lily of the Valley will make people dizzy, nauseated and weak in limbs. But the poison on the sword will make people's skin black and purple, fever all over the body, breathing difficulties until death. The Lily of the Valley is not so poisonous. Yu Qingru ate the Lily of the Valley by herself while talking. She was dizzy and nauseous, but not life-threatening. Qin Zhongying was a little anxious, stepped forward to support Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru asked Wang Lei, which assassin used such weakly poisonous Lily of the Valley? Seeing that he could not frame Mo Zhu, the assassin broke free from the rope and escaped. Wang Lei saw that he could not send Mo Zhu to death row, so he quickly said that he had made a wrong judgment, and sent them back to Prince Yun's mansion. Qin Zhongying refused. At this time, Lily of the Valley had a medicinal attack, and Yu Qingru fainted in Qin Zhongying's arms. On the way back to the mansion, after Qin Zhongying asked Yu Qingru to go back to the mansion. Be sure to explain why your medical skills are so good. At this time, he suddenly fainted. Yu Qingru recalled that when the assassin fled, he stabbed Qin Zhongying with a needle. Needles are definitely poisonous. She said that she still had the antidote, so she quickly gave it to Qin Zhongying. She recalled that when the assassin escaped, the officers and soldiers of Dali Temple did not chase after him at all. Wang Lei was in a hurry to convict Mo Zhu. They must be in collusion. She felt that there must be a conspiracy, so she told everyone to return to Prince Yun's mansion quickly. After returning to the mansion, the doctor in the mansion gave Qin Zhongying a consultation. Yu Qingru said that the assassin was arrested on purpose, probably for the purpose of poisoning Qin Zhongying. This poison induced Qin Zhongying's original disease. The doctor agreed with Yu Qingru's opinion that the poison caused Qin Zhongying's hidden illness. And with his medical skills, he couldn't cure it. Mo Zhu anxiously wanted to commit suicide and apologize. Stopped by Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru asked Mo Zhu, did Qin Zhongying ever go to the swamp? Ma Zhu said yes. At this time, the system prompts Yu Qingru to add 30 points for correct diagnosis. Yu Qingru wanted to exchange for the detoxification serum, but the detoxification serum needed 100 points, and her points were not enough, so she couldn't help shouting why it was so expensive. Mo Zhu thought she was short of money to buy medicine, and said that he also had money and could give it to her. Yu Qingru quickly said that she didn't need money, she needed Mo Zhu to find her many, many patients. She first redeemed the reliever drug delay from the system. The medicine that suddenly appeared made Mo Zhu and the others very surprised. Where did the medicine come from? The Emperor of Qin sent the imperial army to Prince Yun's mansion and ordered everyone not to enter or leave until Qin Zhongying woke up. Yu Qingru went around looking for patients to earn points in Yunwang Mansion. As a result, only 3 points are given after diagnosing a person. She originally wanted to go out of the Yunwang Mansion to find patients outside. As a result, the officers and soldiers at the gate refused to let her go out. She was very anxious, and the maid Ding Xiang was very timid and dared not do anything. She can only drink to the maid Ding Xiang, who immediately becomes the driver Zhao's personality. Driver Zhao dared to fight against the emperor, the two reached a consensus. Driver Zhao pretended to have a mouse and ran to attract the attention of officers and soldiers. He also said that there were rats in the mansion, which affected Prince Yun's health, so he asked the officers and soldiers to help catch the rats. Yu Qingru pretended to be a servant collecting swill and left Prince Yun's mansion. Yu Qingru arrived at the clinic, she felt that there must be many patients at the entrance of the clinic. She stood at the door to treat patients. She diagnoses the disease accurately and doesn't need money. Quickly attracted many patients. Affected the business of the hospital. At this moment, De Wang Qin Lifeng happened to see Yu Qingru treating patients. He found it very interesting. She was seeing a beggar and asked him to buy some Coptis chinensis, but the beggar said he couldn't afford it. Yu Qingru was soft-hearted, so he asked him to go to the back door of Prince Yun's mansion to get the medicine in 2 days. Yu Qingru secretly thought that with so many patients and so many points, if she cured Qin Zhongying this time, there would still be points left.